Fit friends. Welcome to Jolene's My Kinetic Life Fitness and day 2 of your 3-week at-home core challenge. I would love to hear how day 1 went. Comment below, ask me any questions you might have. I want to help you as much as I can, but I can't help you unless you let me know what you need. So definitely comment below and let me know how day 1 went. We're going to jump right into the 3 new moves that you need to know for day 2 of this core challenge. After that, I'm going to give you a little bit of information that I wanted to pass on yesterday that I didn't get a chance to. So stay tuned so that you get more tips and tricks about how to get the most out of this program after I demonstrate these next few exercises. So today is all about supporting muscles. So when we think core, everybody, well, almost everybody, always goes right to thinking about their front abdominals and a six-pack. And as we know, working the core is more about working the deep abdominal muscle tissue more than the superficial muscles where you get your six-pack. But in order to work those muscles underneath in the front and eventually get that beautiful toned tummy that you are looking for, you need to work some supporting muscles in your core area. Those supporting muscles are your hips, your glutes, and your lower back. So yesterday we worked your front so much. Today, we're gonna go away from that to give that area a little bit of a rest and work our hips, work our glutes, and work our lower back. The first movement we are gonna do is the hip thruster. You have 2 options for the hip thruster. The less intense option is lying flat on the floor. The more intense option is using something like a couch, which is about knee height, to get some elevation, but it puts a little more pressure on the glutes and the hamstrings. So decide where you're at. For the hip thruster, what I need is feet hip width apart. When you are lying down, you want the legs to be in a 90-degree angle after you lift your hips. As always, we're pulling that beautiful belly button into our spine. We are having a flat back. I'm gonna put my arms overhead just so you can see me a little bit better, but normally I would have my arms down by my side for these hip thrusters. And all you're doing is lifting those glutes up into a bridge, squeezing the glutes tight. Notice I'm at a 90-degree angle. You're going to feel this right in your hamstrings, right in your glutes, and when you come down to that flat back, you are literally just tapping it lightly and then lifting it straight back up. Up and down you go, right here, the whole time, belly button to spine, getting to that beautiful flat back. If you are looking to increase the intensity, you're going to do the very same thing, but instead of doing it on the floor, you are going to do it up on a couch. Feet hip width apart, and you're going up into that beautiful bridge. Like a tabletop, you're coming down, barely grazing your glutes, coming straight back up to that tabletop, making sure your feet are hip width apart, making sure that you still have that 90-degree angle in your legs, and making sure that belly button is going to your spine. That is movement number 1 for day 2. Movement number 2, you need to do 20 seconds on your right and 20 seconds on your left. What you are going to do is the side plank. So we're working the sides of our abdominals and the sides of our glutes, sides of our thighs. 3 options for this. First option is the beginner option where your legs are bent. Then there's the intermediate option. Ooh, I gotta shuffle over a little bit. Where leg is bent on the bottom for extra support, top leg is straight. Third option is legs straight out. I hope that makes sense. Here, at a 90-degree, all you're doing, hand could be here, hand could be up here, doesn't matter, whatever's more comfortable, is you are lifting your hips so that you are in this beautiful straight line. Your elbow is right underneath of your shoulder, and you're just holding. We're going to get into some thrusters later on in the program. Today, you're just holding this beautiful side plank. Remember, intermediate option, advanced option. You also have the option, if that is very uncomfortable for you for whatever reason, to do all of those movements up on your hand, right? Beautiful straight line, hand here, whatever feels more comfortable. Here is option 2, and here is option 3, much more intense. You guys decide where is your baseline, where are you comfortable. If you can do this in front of a mirror, that would be amazing because it will give you a really good indication whether you are flat in that position. And by that I mean making sure that you're not, see, I can't even do it, sagging this way or lifting too high, right? You want to be right in here, stable, engaging that core. If you don't have a mirror, family member can help just as much. Last but not least, we are going to go into working those lower and upper back muscles. We are going to do that by lying flat on our tummy and doing the Superman. We've all done this before. Forehead is to the floor. Again, even though your tummy is on the floor, you're still aiming to pull that belly button into your spine. Your legs don't have to be touching. They could be slightly apart. Mine are about 6 inches apart, and my hands are about 6 inches apart. And all I'm doing is lifting my thighs. You're not bending your knees. This is not a Superman. Lift your knees and thighs as high as you can off the floor. Lift your chest off of the floor. Come down, graze it, and come back up in one beautiful motion. Now, the key for that one is, if you find that movement way too intense, doing your legs and your chest at the same time, then what you're going to do is you're going to alternate. So 5 of each by doing chest, legs, chest, legs. Okay? So you can either alternate or you can do both at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. Those are the 3 things you need to know for day 2. Again, you can always ask me questions. I'm more than willing to listen to that. The 2 things I wanted to pass on before I go, going back to day 1, are, first of all, please make sure you're doing the baseline test for yourself every day for this first week. Yesterday, your baseline test was engaging that back straight to the floor, pulling that belly button in, legs straight up, taking those legs down as far as you can until you notice that back disengaging. When that happens, re-engage. This is your starting position. Okay, so for week 1, part of week 2, your legs are going to be here. You're going to work all of the movements and keep that back on the floor. Hopefully, by the end of the 3 weeks, what you'll notice is your ability to get your legs down further while still engaging that back to the floor. That is our aim. That is our baseline. Today is the same thing. Your baseline for your hip thrusters are, can I only do this from the floor? And by the end of the 3 weeks, I'm doing them up on the couch. For your side planks, you start here and feel comfortable. By the end, can you get to the intermediate or the advanced, right? For your Supermans, are you lifting both your chest and your legs off the floor at the same time? Or do you need to alternate, and by the end of the 3 weeks, you can do both at the same time? You need to do your baselines to know if you're progressing. I encourage you to write it down as well, because that helps you remember. Last thing, yesterday I spoke to you about lifting your shoulders off of the floor during the movements. 2 things I want to say about that. First thing is, if you are lifting your shoulders off the floor, it means that you're engaging more of your abdominal wall. When you're lying down, the top part of your abs are not as engaged as when you lift your shoulders off of the floor, okay? So, if you're able to do that, that's fantastic. You're working more of your abdominal wall. If not, that is your baseline, and you're seeing by the end of the 3 weeks, can I now comfortably lift my shoulders off the floor and maintain the movements? The other reason you need to know about shoulders off the floor is a lot of people can feel a lot of tension in their neck holding up their head. Your head is much heavier than you think it is. So if that's uncomfortable for you at first, no problem. Don't do it. Be nice and comfortable. As you progress through, once you get comfortable, once your abdominals are strong enough to help you maintain that beautiful neutral neck, you're not pinching, you're not pulling, it's a nice neutral neck. Once you're able to do that, do it, and if you need a break, put it down for a little bit, and then come back up into it. I hope that makes sense. I hope you're enjoying this program so far. Thank you for sticking with me. I know this video was a bit longer. They're gonna get shorter and shorter as they go along because you're gonna know most of the exercises already. Again, any comments, questions, feedback, I'm totally open, so please do that. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon, Fit Friends.